how a high school dropout became an MLB superstar.
Dropping
Damn.
out of high school is usually a pretty bad career move. From the
Wait, locked in
latest
a band. Y'all
statistics
got a
from
chance.
2021, the average salary of a high school dropout was $32,500, which puts you just above the poverty line. That's kind of like the Mendoza line of life. You don't want to be anywhere near it, and if you are, then things aren't going too well. Then there's Bryce Harper. Usually when
Bryce
a kid decides
Harper?
to leave high school after his sophomore year,
Wait, I didn't even see who it was. Is that in the thumbnail? Oh, that is Bryce Harper. Oh shit, you guy's fucking jersey, the back of his jersey in the thumbnail. I didn't even see.
it's to work a dead-end
Bryce
job
Harper
or scrape
didn't-
by, which
What?
many
How did he
teens
make it to
consider a
college?
vast improvement over sitting in a classroom. There's usually some sort of horrible dysfunction involved. Could be a learning disability, family instability, or years of prior academic struggle. Then there's Bryce Harper. You see, Harper wasn't any of those things. In fact, he was an excellent student who kept up with his assignments and also found time to devote to the teachings of his Mormon faith. He came from a two-parent home, he didn't suffer from any
Where's Mormon?
substance abuse issues, and he wasn't a loner at World with the War. Yet, he still took a huge gamble with his life. Now, it
Did you still
obviously
get
paid
strict on
off
baseball?
big time. But for every Bryce Harper, there's 1,000 other 6-year-olds who are sure they'd make it big once they say goodbye to high school forever. Usually, that's a clear path to the bottom ring of the American ladder. But for Bryce Harper, it led to riches beyond his wildest dreams and a
no,
place in
Mohawk.
baseball immortality. He's a living and breathing MLB superstar. The question is, how
I used to watch the damn, what's this shit called? The Little League. Yeah, the Little League World Series. That's what it's called. The LLWS. I used to want to be in a Little League shit because I used to see the tournament and shit. It would be like, damn. I remember there was a girl involved. There was a girl like pitcher for one of the teams. But I think it's all 50 states. They get the best team out of there. Like I think you can watch that Final Four for each state. It's on like the local channels. But then like the best team goes into like the Little League World Series and they all like fight against each other and shit. It was hard. I fuck with that shit. That's just in August, I think. And it used to go on for weeks. I used to want to do that shit.
did he do it?
Like, I felt like my talent was enough to be on those teams, but, like, my team was always ass.
But
I wouldn't have been a pitcher, though.
before we answer that question, we first need to know why he did it. It's not like kids grow up dreaming of the day they drop out of high school. It just happens due to factors that often kids can't control. Now, one thing Bryce had no control over was being a younger brother. Often in athletics, it's the youngest sibling who gets beaten up for years by the older sibs, and then they use the beatdowns to become superior competitors. Michael Jordan owes some of his success to Larry. Yadi Molina became great trying to keep up with his brothers Benji and Jose. And sisters too. Serena Williams had to work hard to overtake Venus. Bryce started playing t-ball when he was 3, but by the time he was 7, he was already playing with the 11 and 12-year-olds, because that's the team his older brother.
7 is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, when I was 11, or maybe it was 12, I don't know, they wanted me to play with the 13 and 17-year-olds. I declined. I was not doing that shit, because they be throwing like 95 at that level, bro. I'm like, bro, I am good. I'm fucking 11, 12. I'll just stick to my league, bro. I'm not taking baseball that serious.
Brian was playing on, and Brian was already.
I always
playing
thought I
up
was good
with
enough
older
to be
children, which meant Bryce
Little League,
was
though.
playing up,
I was doing
and away he
On
went.
God, I was ducking. I see someone break their ribs live. I stayed late. Like, I was getting a ride from like one of my friends. He was older. He played for 13, 17-year-olds. Bro, I was staying at that game because it was a night game. Bro, dude cracked his rib off a fucking pitch. He had to like leave the game and shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, bro. And like, bro, yeah, I'm 11 and 12, bro. I'm not trying to get hit in the head or some shit and like fucking die on scene.
With older children, which meant Bryce was playing.
Like, I remember he was holding his ribs and he was like, he did that and then walked off they had to put like a runner on a person shit. I'm like, bro, that man immediately left, bro. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. They ain't call the ambulance no crazy shit, but I'm saying that was insane.
Playing up.
And people said like 2 weeks later they cracked his rib and shit. Because I asked, I was like, is bro good? Like, I didn't see him at the last game because I stayed for like the next game, or like I came some weeks later and didn't see him. I'm like, bro, what happened to him? He was like, nah.
And
He on the sideline. I don't think he gonna be back either because he like cracked the rib or some shit.
away
I'm
he
like,
went.
damn,
By
what
the time
fuck?
he was 12, he
Bro
was
couldn't
already
read this
clouting
shit.
homers over adult
Hell
side
no.
fields, hitting bombs over 400 feet. Bryce also had no control over where he was born, Las Vegas, which is known for
Yeah,
gambling,
Las
Elvis
Vegas.
impersonators, and homegrown
that
MLB
him?
talent. Think about it. Harper played Little League with Chris Bryant and Joey Gallo. Vegas boasted excellent coaches, indoor facilities, and elite competition.
I ain't gonna lie. The one dude I watch for like the MLB every day that recaps the games, he's from Las Vegas too.
Steel
Ain't know someone in the league.
Still sharp and steel. Harper was head and shoulders above
Crazy.
even future big leaguers. Harper also couldn't control the fact that he physically matured at a rapid rate. He entered high school as a grown man, 6'3" and 205 pounds. Many pro athletes are late bloomers who don't grow until later. But the reason that Bryce Harper left high school after 10th grade was the same reason that many teens decided to go a different direction. High school sucked. Or to be precise, high school baseball sucked. Harper played 2 years at Las Vegas High School, hitting .599 with 11 homers as a freshman and .569 in just 3 as a sophomore. And
don't people average like 300 in the league?
there's your
Or like 300 is good in the league?
problem right there. Bryce Harper wasn't getting pitched to. In fact, he was getting yelled at, thrown at, targeted, and put in danger. High schools can become quite foreboding, and Harper and his family knew he needed a new chapter in his life. And like a lot of high school dropouts, Harper got his GED instead of a traditional diploma and enrolled at a local community college, the College of Southern Nevada, where his brother was playing. All Harper did there was hit 31 homers, driving in 98, and hit a .443 in just 66 games, playing against guys 3 or 4 years older, just like the old days. Why he left high school was simple. He had nothing left to prove. But how he became an MLB superstar is a little more complicated. Since the draft started in 1965, there have been 58 first overall picks, and only 3 of them have been voted into the Hall of Fame. Others like 2020 Spencer Torkelson have a career WAR of -1.2. 2014's Brady Aiken doesn't have a WAR because he never played in the big leagues. Matt Bush, Tim Beckham, Brian Bullington, there are plenty of disappointments at the top of the draft. Then there's Bryce Harper. How did he manage not to become an overhyped prospect? Ever since he appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 2009, he's had a target on his back, and yet he has somehow avoided falling flat on his face. After signing in 2010, Harper went straight to the Arizona Fall League, a showcase for top prospects, before he played in a single pro game. He hit .343, which is ridiculous. Then, in 2011, he went to Single-A ball and hit 14 homers in 72 games, which got him promoted to Double-A while he was still 18. And in 2012, he played in 21 AAA games before...
I remember being on Sports Illustrated with some crazy shit. You was on it? Like...
being called up to the Washington Nationals at 19.
Damn, what
22 homers and 26 doubles later, he was the Rookie of the Year. How this happened is that Harper never rested on his laurels. Whenever anyone said he was great, he'd say, "I'm not done yet." He worked on his swing obsessively, rep after rep, until it was a work of art.
Like Bryce
he
Harper
never skipped the squat rack in the gym. He had a burning desire to be the best hitter in history, to be in the Hall of Fame, and he used that fuel to drive him. The #1 pick meant nothing. He knew that he had to prove that on the field. But Harper's rise to superstardom wasn't a smooth glide. Anything but. Baseball phenoms can sometimes get unlucky breaks, either in their luck or in bones.
Is he on the Phillies
Harper was
now?
looking to build on a great rookie
when
season with some monster numbers, just as he's done every year he played baseball.
That's such a
but
big deal.
his 2013 season looked like this.
Like
274 batting average with 20 homers and 59 RBIs. He played in just 118 games because on May 13th, he ran into the wall at Dodger Stadium, going back on a ball. He injured his knee, which never really healed for the rest of the season, causing Harper to miss an entire month of June, but he still made the All-Star team. He gritted through the pain and didn't feel better until he had off-season surgery.
Is he petting him? What the fuck is that?
He made the All-Star team. He gritted through the pain and didn't feel better until he had off-season surgery. He was ready to come back strong in 2014 and show the world that he was the chosen one. Except his 2014 numbers look like this: 273 batting average, 13 homers, and only 32 RBIs. Wait, what? His OPS plus was down to 111, making the chosen one a slightly above average MLB player. What was going on? another injury. This time, a tear to the UCL in his left thumb, which he hurt sliding into third on April 27th. Now, hoping to miss only 2 weeks, Harper missed 2 months. Was Harper destined for the same fate as Kerry Wood or Mark Pryor, 2 studs whose careers were derailed by injuries? Would Harper ever live up to his potential? If there were any doubters, in 2015, Harper shut them up. He stayed healthy and destroyed the sport of baseball like he was back in high school, a man playing amongst boys. He hit a .330 with 42 homers and 99 RBIs. He led the majors in slugging, OBP, and OPS+, which meant Harper was twice as valuable as an average MLB player. The only person 22 or younger to have a season like Harper's was Ted Williams in 1941, when he hit over 400. That's how good Harper was. Still, the Nationals didn't make the playoffs, and despite the numbers, some people were still doubting Harper. Now, it didn't help that in the very next year, 2016, Harper's average dipped down to .243 with 24 bombs and 86 RBIs. By the end of April, he had 7 homers and seemed ready to explode again. Instead, his WAR dipped from 9.9 to 1.6. His defensive stats tanked too. Maybe the 20 intentional walks had something to do with it. You see, he wasn't getting anything to hit. The Nats made the postseason again, but as history would repeat itself, they were bounced in the NLDS. In 2017, Harper was poised to prove again that he was a baseball unicorn. He was gunning for another MVP season, leading the Nationals to a rout in the NL East. On August 12th, he was hitting .326 with 29 homers and 87 RBIs, putting him in position for 40 homers and 120 RBIs. Then he hit the bag funny on a play at first and hyperextended his knee, causing him to miss 43 games.
Fuck!
The injury cost him the MVP trophy. He was hitting .350.
What the fuck?
43 games. He
Bro,
hit
like,
the bag funny on a play at first and hyperextended his
He hit the bag funny.
knee, causing him to miss.
Yo, he felt like a fucking cartoon character. Why is he falling like this? Yo.
43 games. The bag funny on a play at first and hyperextended
like he
his
popped
knee,
up and everything.
Him to miss.
Whoa.
43 games. The injury cost him the
That's not
MVP
funny,
trophy.
but it's funny.
He was hitting .356 on balls in play. Translation, he was raking. He finished 12th in MVP voting.
Oh my god. Okay, he slid off the base.
And once again, the Nats.
Like, bro got swept off his feet. Look at that shit. Yo.
Got bounced in the NLDS. As 2018 dawned, Bryce Harper was at a crossroads. His contract with the team that drafted him, the Nationals, was expiring. He could have re-signed with them, but opted not to. He played out that season with a cloud hanging over his future. Was he a bona fide superstar or not? His doubters were growing.
That's how you spell bona fide?
His future. Was he a bona fide superstar or not?
Bona fide? So, are those two words only used together? Have you ever used fide by itself and bona by itself?
Not. His doubters were
or
growing,
you gotta
but
use them together.
Harper's play only improved. In 2018, he hit 34 homers and drove in 100, but he only hit a .249, which is deceptive because he walked 130 times and reached base almost 40% of his at-bats. But the team didn't make the playoffs despite having Max Scherzer, Juan Soto, Anthony Rendon, and Trey Turner. He did win the 2018 Home Run Derby in front of his hometown fans, putting on a show that made jaws drop, clubbing 45 homers, all pitches from his dad. It was a feel-good story. Then Harper turned on a 10-year, $300 million offer from his team, only to turn around and sign a 13-year, $330 million contract with the division rival Phillies. Washington fans felt betrayed. Philly fans were ecstatic. The question was, did Harper deserve the money, and would he ever live up to the contract? At first, the baseball gods seemed displeased because in 2019, the Nationals won the World Series with another young superstar leading the way in the form of Juan Soto. Meanwhile, in Philly,
Juan Soto won for the Nationals without Bryce Harper. That's insane.
Harper hit 35 homers and drove in 114, but only hit .260. And for the first time since 2014, he got no MVP votes and didn't make the All-Star team. The team finished 4th, and Harper had to watch his old team celebrate. In 2020, the COVID season, again, Harper got no MVP votes. He was turning 28, and his monster 2015 season was fading off into the distance. Had the Phillies made a mistake signing Harper? Was the chosen one becoming an afterthought? Many doubted him when Harper left Las Vegas High School 2 years earlier to play in junior college. Now, the doubters were back with a vengeance. The game was filled with free agent busts and guys who signed for big bucks and failed to deliver. Think Chris Davis with the O's. As 2021 got the game back to normal, Harper was turning 28 and should have been in his prime. He should have been the best player in the game.
What happened?
All Harper knew how to do was work hard, traits he got from his parents. One thing Philly fans loved was someone who grinded, who played tough, who fought hard. And in 2021, Harper did all of those things, leading the majors in doubles, slugging, and OPS. He had a career best 359 on balls in play and won Philly fans over with his all-out hustle. His OPS plus of 179 was the best in the game. Yet it seemed like his 2022 season would be another disaster. He had to play almost the entire season with a torn UCL in his left elbow, limiting him to DH. Then Blake Snell drilled him in the thumb with a 97-mile-per-hour heater, and Harper had to have surgery to fix it. He played in 99 games.
Like as a player.
Another disappointment. Or was it? Because even with his
they're going right over my head too, like OPS, slugging,
or UCL, Harper led the Phils to the World Series, a run no one saw coming. He was named the MVP of the NLCS by hitting 400 and crushing 2 homers, sending the city of brotherly love into a frenzy. Harper proved again that he was a true MLB superstar, someone who could match his talents to the moment. Not bad for a high school dropout. Bryce Harper took a very different path in life, one that often ends with drudgery. And in fact, his own career at times seemed to border on failure. He struggled through injuries, through down seasons, through fans calling him out for failure to deliver. And then, right when everyone had closed the book on him, he came roaring back, making the Phillies a powerhouse in the NL East. They almost made it back to the World Series last season, and with Harper leading the way,
he'll
be a threat again. It's hard to believe that Harper is still just 31. It seems like he's lived 2 lifetimes already, with
facts. I feel like he's been around forever. Damn, it ended so like fast.
Dropping out of.
That was a good video.